Hey guys, Sean here again. For the week of November 26th through the 30th, I took two trades. This was definitely not my best week coming off of the Thanksgiving week. I was in a little bit of a funk Monday through Wednesday, and Wednesday I really just had to pull my head out of my ass basically and really go over my blog posts, reread those, and finally got myself into a scratch trade on Thursday and Friday. I took a loss on Square, and I'll just be showing you this loss. So market was pretty strong on Thursday, opened weak on Friday, and the triple Qs. This was fading off, already below the open, so when Square completely just fell apart right at the open, and this high candle, the 5 minute, was 69.80. Just waiting around, and when this volume spiked right back up into it perfectly. Damn. I My conviction was that it was going to be another short, so when this closed, I fished my order right at 69.49, and the candle was bouncing around down here when I put my order at 69.49, so it came back up, got filled, and once it got filled, I was risking right above 69.80. I think it was at like 69.82 I put my stop at. So I put my first cover at 69.23, hoping it could just come down anywhere middle of here, and then it was going to be probably 69 for my other third, and I would have wrote out my other last third, but when it didn't even take out my 69.23, I started not panicking, but I was definitely watching everything else and seeing why it wasn't coming down. And my guide to this play was definitely Apple and Netflix, because already at 9:45 and 9:50, Apple was still just absolutely collapsing. Let's put this in. So this was definitely part of my conviction, was Apple just collapsing from the highs, straight red, and even Netflix was still chopping around, no real strength. So 9:45, 9:50, it was already at its lows again. So I definitely had to get in on this volume, risking high a day. But when these candles started closing out all above the 200-day moving average, that's when I started. That's when I just started to want to uh, either scale out or exit my position. And it was actually this bottom wick, when this closed right right above this wick, that showed me enough strength. It closed above the 200, so I canceled my order at this stop, and I just marketed my cover, so it took me out at 69.69, and not even a minute later it ripped to the high of the day. So my stop 69.83 probably would have got slipped a little bit, so I saved like 15, 20 cents by moving my stop down and just taking me out. So that was probably even though it was a loss, I still saved myself 20 cents on a losing trade. So I was very happy about that. And when I say the main reason I took out this market order stop was because of Apple, because it was already coming in 10 o'clock right to this support. So it bounced up, gave a little wicks, and I believe my order was at 10:05 for Square stop out. So even though it was a loss, it was 10:05. It was literally a minute before this spiked. It would have taken me out anyway. So I was actually very happy with that loss. Even though it came back down, I was not going to sit through this chop. That's definitely not the plan. So that was today's trade on Friday, and yesterday's trade was on Netflix. So this was definitely not my best trade either. And I was also using Apple as my guide to this play. Like I said yesterday, Apple just completely fucking collapsed out of the gate. And as soon as Apple started collapsing, I was using this 280 over and under on the 5-minute chart. And I put my order out. Let's see, at 279.81. So I got filled at 948. So right up in here, right here, and I quickly, because I knew this, I just had a feeling that it was just going to be a quick scalp. So I took out half of my position right at the lows on this candle at 278.36. So is the low of this candle, and then my original stop was this over under on 280 because I've been seeing with this market correction this these stocks not giving any sorts of bounces. So I just had to get in, even though this was the perfect entry on this over under. But even right after this, I had to leave for my other job. So as soon as I exited this trade, I just closed my laptop, missed this perfect high day retest on the 5-minute, and then it collapsed another $4. So that would have gave a great risk to reward using this 200-day as your profit taking guide, even the low of the day. But those were my two trades on the week. So one loss, one scratch, and go over one more trade. Okay, guys, like I said, by the Thanksgiving Day funk really got to me. This is Wednesday the 28th, and Netflix. This gave the perfect entry and exit just using the Netflix chart. I don't really use Square as a guide for Netflix. I use Netflix as a guide for Square. So when this 5-minute over under candle on this daily resistance 270, I was watching it, staring at it, but I could not pull the trigger until it was too late. I put my order at 269. I think it was even pretty low at like 269.50, but it was already trading at like 268. So I just canceled my order, never got filled. I probably would have got filled on this bounce here, but I was just too slow to react and couldn't pull the trigger on this. So that's when I had to just relearn and restudy my psychology and trading. So learning for the future on these long breaks like Thanksgiving, I definitely can't be taking that many days off of actually studying, not just studying charts, but studying psychology. So hopefully you guys traded better than me this week because I missed out on this golden opportunity into the fade, into this intraday level, and even the 200-day. So that would again been another like $4. So the lesson I'm taking away from this week is I cannot slack off like I did for Thanksgiving. With Christmas and New Year's coming up, I'm definitely going to be taking that a whole lot more serious and maybe take one day off for Christmas. But I definitely need to keep learning and just keep adapting with this market and just take as much out of it as you can. All right, see you next week.